Darling, I love you. Please, I love you. Don't leave me for God's sake. Darling, you can't do this to me. I can't go on. Darling, I love you. For God's sake.
You know something? I really lost touch with you all out there. I've been just puttering around the house or watering things and growing various forms of synthetic opioids. And I realized that I haven't actually filmed myself speaking for a number of days. I mean, I did spend about up to 50% of that time face down in the local tulip garden, drunk out of my mind on ketamine and sphincter oil, which is a new age phenomenon sweeping the nation. Now, as you may have surmised by my recent omission of updates as far as my pancreatic anal contusions are progressing, then one may also wonder what in fuck's name I'm going on about, because I have no idea. I've lost it. I'm a bit tipsy, if I'm honest. Thought I'd give you a little bit of buzz. I was buzzing around in my own noggin. There's not much. I can't even do my headdress. It's not working out. I don't know where. I've got another minute of this shit. I need a subject to talk about where I'm really losing not just the will to live, but the will for anybody else to live. Complete and utter destruction of the human race. That's where I'm at right now. In a nice way. You know, I mean, genocide, but with a touch of manners. Is that too much to ask for? Seriously. I mean, Adolf Hitler, the chap, he was well dressed, but, I mean, talk about uncouth, vulgar. The man was an absolute menace to polite society. Stalin, on the other hand. Now there was a charmer, the old dog. That big bushy mustache, I mean, he just effused a sort of avuncular charm, didn't he? And then also Saddam Hussein in many ways had a certain je ne sais quoi when it came to the letting your children be babysat by him at gunpoint. Gaddafi was more of the sort of cross-dressing rock star of the massive megalomaniacal dictator crew, wasn't he? He loved his costumes, didn't he? Gaddafi. Let's have a rundown. So if you could put like they've already done it with jihadis, you know, like the beheading mob. Let's do a sort of like Beatles of, what do you call them, dictators. So who would be the Paul McCartney of dictators? Mussolini, that's a curious one. Paul McCartney, and obviously Paul McCartney's dead. I mean, most of them are dead. Would Gaddafi be the John Lennon? Who would be? Well, Kim Jong-un is obviously Ringo. I mean, that's just a given. George, the quiet one. Who's the quiet dictator? Ceausescu? I don't really know much about him. I guess Gaddafi would be Lenin. I can't see Hussein as a Saddam as a McCartney. Who would be McCartney? Oh, Christ. Who's the chap in Belarus right now? It has to be him. I'll go, okay, Belarus. I'll up you two, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan, Waziristan, and an Aloristan, and an Oliver Hardy. Thank you.
You're looking good, Joderito, Chicharito Mojeto, man, you're looking good, mama. I want to have your babies. Come on, let's get together. I feel connection with you, man, so much. Your Majesty, Queen Elizabeth, I like you so much. Why don't you get in touch with me, man? I'm a go loco, crazy. Forget these Prince Philip, he's a culo. Mapito, corero, cotero, copero. A camarita, carita, Elizabeth. I want to have the babies. I want you to have my babies. Chicharito, Macarero. Macarero, soltero.
straight and direct. It's come to my attention that you introduce loads of lassies to us men. Now I've got a pal who might be interested in using your service. Let's just call him Hector Ochtermurty-Osporen. Now first of all, how much does it cost? And can he get a discount for it? Please can you send me a list of your discounts and special offers, with the most money saved at the top of the list, working your way down to your smaller discounts. Also, we'd like to know if you've got a special category for women pulling in over 50 grand a year. If so, put Hector on the top of the list and tell them he's ready to take them to paradise. I know that's closed. Right, we'll take them to the boozer next door. That's fine, yeah. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
It's been a while. This is a true story that I lived. When I first met you, my eyes said beware. You broke my heart in two, you knew I didn't care. The club we met was a dive, but I had to stare. You made it come alive with your long black hair. Oh yes, for you're my lady boy, my cross-dressing Thailand toy, and I'm acting crazy like a fool, for I've agreed to be your drugs mule. Oh, I tell myself at customs not to act funny. It's hard with all these condoms in my tummy. Got caught and now I'm in jail. Got 25 to life. I'm hungry and I'm pale, but my cellmate's nice. That's right. I'm his lady boy, his Caucasian pride and joy, and I'm glad I didn't make the shipment, for he's got bigger equipment than my lady boy. Then my lady boy, and my lady boy. I hope you like that, and I hope you like my outfit. No, I have not culturally appropriated the tablecloth from an Italian restaurant. This is hand-designed by a blind man that I keep in a cupboard beneath my sedan chair. So there. Well, I'm off on a journey tomorrow. I'm not really sure where it is I'm going. They've sent me out here, the authorities, and I have to leave as soon as possible. Something to do with massive tax fraud, underage soliciting. I was underage. I was soliciting pensioners and the like. Supposedly in this particular part of the neck of the woods, you're not allowed to let's say, romantically entwine yourself with someone over the age of 65. If you're young and you have lungs and you're young, then you're a good-looking 21-year-old, as I am, as you can probably tell. Now, where I shall end up is a complete and utter mystery. I hope that it's somewhere frightfully warmer than this place, perhaps, I don't know, Greenland. Right now I'm freezing my testes, they're dripping, solidifying as we speak. I used to have liquid ones, used to keep them in a jar on the shelf. As a Boy Scout, I did that. That's what the Boy Scout master told me to do. I don't know, it was something. He talked about putting something in a jar. I don't know what it was exactly. I'm getting lost. Where am I? So I need some help. TripAdvisor help. Now, the last time I used TripAdvisor, it was to ratemypenis.com. I got a almost perfect score of a pretty average 5 metric tons of glucose and cartilage. Pretty much makes it up. It's an unusual mixture of sputum, various organs that make up my genital region. That's how it worked. I think I actually have a twin brother who is actually attached to me at the pelvis and is in the shape of a penis. He's got purple hair, funnily enough. Before it was all the rage, purple hair with a long spewing fount of dandruff that erupts 2 or 3 times a week when I shampoo him vigorously for 2 or 3 minutes. Like I often mentioned, I do have a webcam, and you can watch me shampoo my penis-like twin brother attached at my pelvis for 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week. You can log in. There are various other bonuses. Mostly it's me shampooing my penis-like twin brother. He's massive. He's about the size of a small toddler. He doesn't have much of a body, just 2 rather globular knees that have hair sticking out of them, and he's about 3 foot long, but a foot wide, circumference of about 2.5 feet. And when he's angry, he proudly stands up and roars at anybody who will dare to come within, well, a few yards of him, sometimes miles, depends entirely on the time of day. This little number is called Modern Love. Darling, I've got hair coming out my ears. I've got hair coming out my nose. I've got 14 years of athlete's foot and built up between my toes. I'm a work-shy, lazy bum. I've been unemployed for years. I lay around the house all day long, eating pizza and drinking beers, but I can get you a visa. Yes. I can get you a visa. I'd like to dedicate this to Melania Trump. Though our love depends on the ratio of my citizenship and your fellatio. Sorry, darling. If you don't mind my breath or my lazy eye, come and be my blushing Russian bride. For I can get you a visa. That was quite romantic, wasn't it? Well, I'm back. Feeling rather rocky, woke up. Under the weather. Under a blood-red sky, as Bono would say. The lead chanter of a rock group, WC2. Are you familiar with them? They're from the Emerald Isle, known as Northern Ireland. There's a southern bit as well, but I'm not familiar with that. Doesn't exist to me spiritually. Don't tell them I said that. I don't want to get kneecapped. They love a joke, but not about that particular subject. But Bernard, as I call him, and La Edge, who's the chap who plays guitar and falls off the edge occasionally, are both Christian missionaries in the field of rock and roll. They spend much of their lives enriching and encapsulating everything that means to be a Christian rock and roller. Now, we all know Christian rock and roll is the most profound, surreptitious, fundamentally disingenuous, polyamorous, polygamist shitfest the world has ever known. But I love it. I love Christian rock and roll. And when you go like this, you can also make the sign of the cross, I think. I don't know, I haven't tried it. I'll have to look it up on the interweb. I've been under the weather recently. I've indulged a bit. I did quite a lot of synthetic opioids over the weekend. About 44 tablets. And I'm just coming to now. It's Thursday. But I feel not bad. I've got my towel on, and it seems to be rather backlogged. Not really. If you're listening to this on the radio, or on perhaps CB radio, or intercontinental air traffic control emissions, then you won't notice, but my towel is rather flat and looks puffed out. It doesn't look puffed out. That's actually a problem. This is meaningless. I'm getting tired. I'm going back to sleep.
On the show. Veronica, 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 Veronica.